Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is. Hold on a second. It's better, believe it or not. But all of this coughing is wearing on my voice. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm a little early today, but that's mainly because I'm not. I don't think I'm going to be on for long. I know the coughing is going to annoy me, and in my mind, that's not pleasant for you as the listener, viewer, whatever. So this is probably going to be a short show. So I figured I'd start a little early since I'm going to probably end it really early. Like if I do an hour, I'll be shocked that I made it through an hour. As is customary, we say hello. I say hello to all of the people who take some time out of their day to spend it watching me ramble. So let's do that. Robert Willis, what's up? We got Miss Pittsburgh in the house early. Good afternoon, Miss Pittsburgh. LaDonna. Hey, what's up, LaDonna? Nikki. Nikki says good afternoon. Good afternoon, Nikki. And she also says afternoon to everyone else. Oh, that was pleasant. Tina. Tina, good afternoon. She says good afternoon to everyone. Anthony says you showed up. No, I didn't. I didn't show up. We got Olympia. Olympia says good afternoon, everyone. She's from Westchester. Good afternoon, Olympia. Pamela. Pamela, good afternoon to Emmanuel. And she says to all the rest of you. She's checking in from North Avondale. And she's mad today. Oh, why? Why? Please share. We got Sean. Sean in the house from Atlanta. My sister Breenie in here. All right. What's up, Breenie? Got Jerica. Jerica, who called me a plus size man. Hurt my feelings. Just my feelings are hurt. And it's not, my feelings ain't hurt because I'm fat. I already knew I was fat. My feelings are hurt because she said it like it was the tone in the letters, the way that she put it out there. It was almost like shut your fat ass up. It was one of those. But so it hurt me. It hurt my feelings because I know her to be a nice person. Like she's pleasant and nice to people. And she was mad because I was telling somebody that there is absolutely nothing wrong with liking big women. And somehow she was offended by me saying that there's nothing wrong with liking big women. And she told me to shut my fat ass up. My feelings are still hurt behind it, Jerica. Quintano. Quintano says good afternoon, checking in from A1. It's Avondale for y'all who don't know. Andrea. Andrea, good afternoon. She's checking in from Gulf Manor, the home office. All right. Got Shirley in the house. My cousin, good afternoon. Checking in from Westchester. Working and checking me out. That's to get paid to watch. You can't beat that. Got David. David in the house. Says good afternoon. E-Man, little baby not here. And the rest of the family checking in from Westchester too. We could do a day party in Westchester. But Anthony says good afternoon anyway. Got Erica. Erica, good afternoon. Tria. Tria in the house. What's up? Butler Brown from Cartersville, Georgia. All right. That sounds like a country ass place. Not that it might not be. It might be a nice, wonderful metropolis. But just Cartersville, Georgia, sound like a country ass place. And there's nothing wrong with country. Nothing wrong with country. Don't call me fat and tell me shut my fat ass up. There is nothing wrong with the country. I lived in the country for many years, and I think I like living in the country much more than I like living in the city. So, but Cartersville sound country. Tria says, who told you to shut your fat ass up? Jerica. Jerica. She didn't use those words, but that was basically what she was saying. That was basically what she was saying. Pamela. Pamela says she just left the team meeting with the new straw boss that our team reports to. Said the lady doesn't know anything. Oh, hold This is why I won't be on long today. This nothing's coming up or anything like that, and it's moved. It ain't like all up in my throat. It's like really down in my chest now. I'm on the tail end of it, but just all of this coughing is really affecting my voice. I'm less worried about it for this. I'm more worried about it because I'm in a couple of bands now. And we're rehearsing, getting ready for gigs. And then I'm going to go in there sounding like this. I can't sing on key. It's not that I can't hear it or that I'm not trying to make it on key, but just the way that it comes out, it's horrible. So how are we going to rehearse? That damn little baby. We got Vincent. Vincent in the house. What's up, Vincent? From Oxford today. Jerica says she did no such thing. You know you did. You know you did. Let me see. Crystal. Crystal says good afternoon and to me and everyone else checking in from Bond Hill. So we got Bond Hill in the house. Let me see. Anybody? We got Deborah in the house. Good afternoon. Carolyn in the house. Good afternoon. Jason in the house. Good afternoon. Lady K in the house. Good afternoon. They beating up on the manager who don't know nothing. Give her a break. Give her a break. What's in your throat? That I'm sure that was before I just explained the whole coughing thing. The little baby gave me a cold. She's disobedient. I told her to stop being sick. She didn't listen. She sat on the couch next to me right here. She sits right here when we sit on the couch. And she looks up at me, grandfather. And of course, I look at her. I say, what, little baby? And she says, can I have some more? Oh, my God. And when she did it, I knew it. I knew it right there. So she got me. A couple days later, you get that little tickle in your throat. So, and what, I'm about a week in now. About a week in. And I'm not a medicine guy. I'm not a medicine guy. I'm a, you know what I'm saying, my royal antibodies will fight. And they fight. I can feel them. I can feel they rumbling in there. I can feel it in my veins. I mean, and it's just this fighting. You can feel so they getting it in. But, you know, they got to fight. So that's what's wrong with the throat. Tanya says, good afternoon. Where you checking in from, Tanya? Robert. Is that Robert? Yeah. Said you were talking about razor bumps last week. If you shave downward in the same direction, you will never get razor bumps. That's not true. That might be true for some people. It might be true for you, but that's not true for everyone. We have to understand everybody is a little different. So what works for one? Little example. It's not about bumps, just about differences. I have a brother. He's a year older than I am. He's born August of 69. I'm September of 70. Grew up the same, eating the same stuff, going to the same schools, doing the same stuff, same parents. One day, I don't think we were in junior high school. One day we were in junior high school. We was both trying to, you know what I'm saying, both trying to get the willies. And so he made up his mind this particular day, I'm getting some willies. He goes upstairs. He washes his hair. He get himself some Dax. Got a nice little brush. He put it in his hair, did the little Dax thing, put a hot towel on it, held the hot towel there for a minute, and brushed his hair, and cha-ching, willies. I was like, what? I went upstairs. I stole his Dax shampoo. I stole his Dax. I stole his brush. I washed my hair. I put the Dax in, the hot towel. I watched everything that he did. Brushed my hair, and my hair looked at me and said, nigga, what you think about to happen? Y'all not the same person. I said, I never got willies. Now, I'm sure he could. Actually, my mother did say this to me once. She said, because I was talking about it, and she said, if you want your hair to wave up like his, why don't you just do the same thing he did? I said, I did do the same thing he did, Mama. And this is what my hair looked like afterwards. And she said, oh, I'm sure you would get them eventually. She was so supportive. The point, of course, is just because something worked for one head don't mean it's going to work for the other head. Just because somebody can shave in any direction and not get any bumps. Some people can use Magic Shave and, they won't get any bumps. Some people can use the clippers and some people can, but if you just shave one, that might work for you. That might work for most people, but it don't mean it's going to work for everyone. But I appreciate the suggestion. Tina says, you can sing? I didn't know. I don't know either. People tell me I can, so I try to sing in some bands, and some people like it. Other people, like my Osha once told me, you can't sing for, and she cussed, because y'all know I don't cuss. You can't sing for S. She told me that at one of my gigs. I said, well, why do you keep coming to the gigs? She said, I don't know. I just be trying to support you. But I hate your voice. All right. So some people like it. Other people don't. We got Brenda in the house from Fairfield. We got Lonzo. I see you, Lonzo. I can't get to you because the thing keep jumping. Got Lonzo. Says, good afternoon, everybody. Jason in the house. Good afternoon. They're going to be giving you the side eye when you cough. Yeah, they will. I actually wore a mask to church, N95 mask, and everybody was looking at me like, and then once I start coughing, they was like, but I don't be near nobody. But, I run sound, so I'm in the back. But this cough is not a quiet cough. It's not a sneeze. It's not one of those. It's that. And everybody looking, I got on a mask. I can't, what can I do? Rick says, hello to everyone from Planet Fitness. Hey, what's up, Planet Fitness? And Lean Styles. They check me out sometime. Carolyn says, I remember when Lil Baby was coughing and you said ain't nothing wrong with her. She all right. Now look who coughing. No, I might have said that, but contextually speaking, you were saying, oh, she need to go to the doctor. And the point that I was making was her parents have already taken her to the doctor, so she's already being treated for whatever it is. So she cool. So yeah, I was just letting you know that. That's what I was saying. But I knew she had something. And when she coughed in my face, I knew I had it. Let me see. Keep going. Yeah, kids are the carriers of germs. Tickle where in my throat. Yeah, she coughed right in my face. I was like, I got it now. Chew some ginger. All right. Told you to make her an urgent care appointment. Even if you go to urgent care, had I right there said, I'm stopping the show, we going to urgent care. You seem to believe that if had I taken her to urgent care would have seen her, they would have said abracadabra, and then she wouldn't have been sick no more. That's not reasonable. That's all I'm saying. Tanya says she checking in from North Avondale. Y'all making me get behind. Y'all making me get behind. Jason says use clippers. That's what I used. That's all I can do. And like I said, if I did it on, what was it, Saturday, I used the clippers, cut it down. If I went and did the clippers again today, I would bump up. Same clippers, same settings, same everything. I clean them, of course, afterwards. But I have to let it grow now. It's weird. Let's not get back into that. Let me see. Get some walls. I have some walls. You really thought that was the answer. It's the brand of the clippers that you use. It's why it's got nothing to do with your hair, your skin, it's the brand of clippers. That's funny. Daryl says it doesn't hurt to try it. Just take the damn advice. It don't hurt to try it, but what if I already tried it? Like, people really hear this stuff. I'm 52 years old. I can tell you the length that my hair has to be before I cut it again to not get bumps. You think I haven't tried virtually everything? Just get some walls. I never tried walls before. Oh, y'all funny. I have a wave cap. I've worn it a number of times. Should have used Murray's. Yeah, that's the difference, because I never used Murray's. Let me see. Let me scroll past this. Y'all just mocking me. Y'all mocking me. Where's the next? I don't know where the next show is. I'm not sure. We're working on bookings right now. Or they're working on bookings. I don't do the bookings. Let me see. Scroll. I got a few things that I want to discuss. Somebody said I do cuss. I don't cuss. I don't know where y'all get this stuff from. Shahara says she's here from Bond Hill. All right, Bond Hill, checking in. Let's see. You would bump up. Yes, I would bump up. Quintano say that's why he keep a beard. And I understand that. We got Brent checking in from Dallas. But, if you use walls. Daryl says, just get a face transplant. Problem solved. Now, that's something I've not tried. That's good advice. Maybe that's the next thing I will try. Let's see. You probably got that cold from sneaking and eating the snacks she left laying around. That's funny. Oh no. Vincent says it's the quality of clippers. All right. It's the quality of the clippers. That's what it is. Have you tried vibranium blades? That I haven't tried. Maybe that's it. Walls, vibranium blades. That'll be the answer. You need to get the Andis T-edgers. I got those as well. Actually, those are the ones that work better for me. I got them upstairs. That's the last ones. Well, I mean, those are the ones that I currently use. I still get bumps. I've tried them all. I've tried them all. Lonzo says, brush your hair in the shower, instant waves. Oh, okay, hold on. There's something to that. There is something to that, Lonzo. Here's what I found. This is true. If I get in the shower and I wash my hair with Head and Shoulders, of course, because I have a dandruff issue. So I have to use Head and Shoulders or some other dandruff controlling shampoo. So I wash my hair with Head and Shoulders. Then, here's where the willies come in. I put conditioner in and I brush my hair with the conditioner in it. While it's wet with the conditioner in the shower, it'll lay down a little bit and it'll wave up a little bit. But then, once I wash it out, it's back to this. And just certain things don't work for certain people. Head and Shoulders works on your hair. It does. I thought Head and Shoulders was for white people. It's just shampoo. Now you very rarely ever, at least I know there was a time, I used to never see black people on Head and Shoulders commercials. So I thought the same thing. I was like, Head and Shoulders is for white people. Head and Shoulders is for white people. And I remember having a conversation with a white friend of mine. It's before I started using Head and Shoulders. And I don't know why we were talking about. And he was saying he has dandruff and everything, and he uses Head and Shoulders. And I said, I might try some Head and Shoulders. And he said, the look on his face was like complete shock. And he was like, you don't need Head and Shoulders. And I was like, why you say that? He was like, you know. And I was like, no, I don't know. Why? And he was like, you know. And I was like, no, let me in on the secret. I don't know. And he was like, you know. And I was like, I don't know. And he said, he looked around. Black people don't get dandruff. I said, who told you that? He said, they don't. That's a fact. It's a known fact. I said, what? Really? Where did you hear that from? He said, they just don't. He said, I watch TV and commercials, and I've never heard of black people having dandruff. I said, really? He said, yeah. And he brought up the commercials. Like, I watch Head and Shoulders commercials. I've never seen a black person on a Head and Shoulders commercial. I was like, come to think of it, I haven't either. He was like, no, you guys don't get dandruff because, you put like grease and stuff in your hair, and that keeps the head from getting dandruff. And I guess by the look on my face, he could tell he was saying some wrong shit. And he was like, right? And I was like, no, black people get dandruff just like white people get dandruff. It's skin. We all have skin. And we all have a number of different issues, or a lot of people have different issues with their skin. So just like white people get dandruff, black people get dandruff. And then he started to name all of these skin conditions. I was like, I'm not a dermatologist. I don't know that. I just know that I get dandruff. And so I use, what was I using back in the day? What was I using? It's a medicated, I can't think of what it is. It's a medicated shampoo, but it smells really medicated. I can't think of what it is, but I used to use it. It was a little too rough for me. But the Head and Shoulders, though, works. Humans with scalps can get dandruff. Yeah, but he didn't know that. And so, all of that to say, no, Head and Shoulders is not for white people. It's just a shampoo for dandruff control. But I used to think the same thing. Uh, Hold on. It was a comment or something. Y'all remember Pearl shampoo? I don't remember Pearl shampoo. Sulfur 8. That was it. That was it. Sulfur 8. It was too rough for me. No, not Tegrin. And not Selsun Blue. Even though I did try Selsun Blue. I've tried Selsun Blue. I think that one was a little rough for me too. I don't think I ever tried Tegrin. But okay, all right. Enough of that. Hello to everyone. As y'all can hear the thoke, the voice, and I'm not gonna be here too long. But hold on, let me get the phones up in case CK decides to call. I got 3 stories, really 2 stories that I want to talk about, but I want to start out with this really simple thing. Y'all know there was a conversation last week because the trial for the Ed Sheeran Marvin Gaye thing is underway, and people were, saying, in particular Lincoln Ware, and then some of the Lincoln Ware jockers were just on his jock. I guarantee, well, I can't guarantee it, but I believe that the majority of them people on the Lincoln Ware show who was agreeing with Lincoln Ware never listened to the Ed Sheeran song. But you right, Lincoln. It don't sound nothing the same. You right, Lincoln. It ain't nowhere similar. You right, Lincoln. I don't hear it. They didn't hear it because they never even listened to it. Lincoln said it, so they believe it, and it's drilled into them. They don't sound anything alike, right? So I wanted to. I found I watch a lot of stuff on music and music theory and all that kind of stuff, even though I can't play an instrument to save my life. If somebody said, play 3 chords and we won't kill you, but if you don't know 3 chords, you dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I can't play. But I watch a lot of stuff on music theory. And there's this video that a guy did about this particular lawsuit. The very beginning of the video, he plays the 2 songs. He starts out by saying, do these 2 songs sound similar? And he just plays a small clip and a small clip. And they're so similar, you can't deny the similarities. Of course, in the video, he goes on to break down in great detail why they are the same. I'm going to play just a little bit of that video. Just a little bit of that video. Tiny bit. So he gonna say, do these songs sound alike? He gonna play a clip of the 2 songs, and then he's gonna real quick explain the similarities. And then we gonna cut the video. But I just want people to stop saying, it don't sound nothing alike. Because if you listen to this and you can still say, it don't sound nothing alike, I don't even want you watching this podcast or live stream anymore. Cut it off. Delete me as a friend. Stop following me and whatever. Don't talk about me. Don't think about me. Leave your family. Go off somewhere and bury yourself in the dirt. That's what I want you to do if you can't hear the similarity after this video. All right. Let's see. Here we go.
Do these songs sound the same to you?
When my hair's all but gone and my memory fades,
Well, Well, if they do sound the same, we can use music theory vocabulary to explain why. The drum grooves are identical, the bass line is the same, the chord progressions are nearly identical, the harmonic rhythm is the same, and the melodies are phrased very similarly. They both backphrase off of beat 1, they emphasize the third degree of the scale, and resolve to the first degree of the scale. The copyright trial of the century has...
All right, that was it. Just super quick, he played it, you hear the similarity, and then he explained why they're all the same. So if you heard that, and you still like, they don't sound nothing, get off. Leave. Now, leave. I don't like you. I don't like you. I'm not saying that, Ed Sheeran stole that, because it's not like that was brand new. Like Marvin Gaye came up with it. It's not like that's the case. And I'll let them figure all of that stuff out. But to be sitting around talking about, they don't sound nothing alike. You right, Lincoln. I don't like you. All right, somebody said play it again. I'm going to play it one last time so you can hear it, the quick explanation, and then we're going to move on, because this is not really a topic. I just get so irritated hearing people not think for themselves. Here we go.
Do these songs sound the same to you?
When my hair's all but gone and my memory fades,
Well, if they do sound the same, we can use music theory vocabulary to explain why. The drum grooves are identical, the bass line is the same, the chord progressions are nearly identical, the harmonic rhythm is the same, and the melodies are phrased very similarly. They both backphrase off of beat 1, they emphasize the third degree of the scale, and resolve to the first degree of the scale. The copyright trial of the century has started.
All right, that was it. They sound similar. End of story. All right. So that was that. That was the whole reason for it. Nothing else needs to be said. Nothing else needs to be said. Thank you, Scott. And Scott, if that's the case, I don't even like you. I don't even like you. And I thought I liked you. But if you can't hear it, I don't like you. Get the hell out. Let me see. There was another story, though, that I wanted to talk about. Young kid, 7th grade, wears a shirt to school, and he gets called to the office. This is, where's the story? Where is the story? Come on. Not that one. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna bring the story up in just a minute. I can't find the story. This is annoying. There it is. There it is. Middle school student sent home for refusing to change his shirt. The shirt said, there are only... What the heck? Stop it. We're not doing commercials. What are you doing? Y'all might not have heard that. It was going on in my ear. I imagine y'all could hear it, but maybe y'all couldn't. 12-year-old student says he was sent home from school because he refused to change his t-shirt. The t-shirt said, there are only 2 genders. There are only 2 genders. Says he went to school with the shirt on. He got called to the office. They told him he wasn't in trouble, but he was in trouble. They called his father. I don't really want to tell you the story. I'll let him tell you the story.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Liam Morrison. I live at 519 Wareham Street. I'm in the 7th, 10th grade at Nichols Middle School. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. I never thought that the shirt I wore to school on March 21st would lead me to speak with you today. On that Tuesday morning, I was taken out of gym class to sit down with two adults for what turned out to be a very uncomfortable talk. I was told that people were complaining about the words on my shirt, that my shirt was making some students feel unsafe. Yes, words on a shirt made people feel unsafe. They told me that I wasn't in trouble, but it sure felt like I was. I was told that I would need to remove my shirt before I could return to class. When I nicely told them that I didn't want to do that, they called my father. Thankfully, my dad supported my decisions and came to pick me up. What did my shirt say? 5 simple words. There are only 2 genders. Nothing harmful, nothing threatening, just a statement I believe to be a fact. I have been told that my shirt was targeting a protected class. Who is this protected class? Are their feelings more important than my rights? I don't complain when I see pride flags and diversity posters hung throughout the school. Do you know why? Because others have a right to their beliefs just as I do. Not one person, staff, or student told me that they were bothered by what I was wearing. Actually, just the opposite. Several kids told me that they supported my actions and that they wanted one too. I was told that the shirt was a disruption to learning. No one got up and stormed out of class. No one burst into tears. I'm sure I would have noticed if they had. I experience disruptions to my learning every day. Kids acting out in class are a disruption, yet nothing is done. Why do the rules apply to one yet not another? I feel like these adults were telling me that it wasn't okay for me to have an opposing view. Their arguments were weak, in my opinion. I didn't go to school that day to hurt feelings or cause trouble. I have learned a lot from this experience. I learned that a lot of other students share my view. I learned that adults don't always do the right thing or make the right decisions. I know that I have a right to wear a shirt with those 5 words. Even at 12 years old, I have my own political opinions, and I have a right to express those opinions. Even at school, this right is called the First Amendment to the Constitution. My hope in being here tonight is to bring the school committee's attention to this issue. I hope that you will speak up for the rest of us so we can express ourselves without being pulled out of class. Next time, it may not only be me. There might be more students that decide to speak out. Thank you for your time and good night.
Thank you.
All right. Now, I looked at the comments while the little boy was speaking. Now, let me say this. One, the boy's in the 7th grade. When you were in the 7th grade, think about you in the 7th grade. Did you know what you thought? Did you know what you felt? Did you know what you believed? I mean, sure, some of that was kind of in kind of transition. You didn't know stuff, and now you're learning stuff, and you're developing your morals and your values and your principles and all that kind of stuff. So you may not believe right now exactly what you believed in the 7th grade. But in the 7th grade, you were old enough to know what you believed. When I was coming up, 7th grade was junior high school. I wore what I wanted to wear to junior high school. My mama wasn't laying my clothes out no more. That stopped a long time before that. I had political views. I wasn't politically astute, but I was aware enough to know that things were going on. I knew what afflicted people was back then. That's what we called gay people at the time. I knew what afflicted people was. I knew that he afflicted. Why he act all funny. And I thought that was bad and wrong. All of this stuff in the 7th grade, I knew all of that stuff. So somebody said, if he chose the shirt, great. If his father made him wear the shirt, then it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong either way. I really am a believer. Like, look, I might not agree with, the MAGA people. I don't, the people run around with those huge F Joe Biden signs and let's go Brandon and all that kind of stuff. I might not agree with them. I might not agree with them. But they got a right to express it. They got a right to express it. He wasn't expressing hatred for anybody. I don't think believing that there are only two genders, male and female, I don't think that means that you hate someone who says that they are trans. So he wasn't expressing hatred. He wasn't expressing it, like, I don't think that's a threat. Not to me, I don't think that's a threat. That don't sound like a threat to me. There are only two genders. That don't sound like a threat to me. Who's he threatening? I mean, it, sounds like the young boy should have been able to wear his shirt and not be bothered. Especially if they allow, like he said, and I'm saying especially if they allow gay pride stuff to be worn, gay pride flag, stuff like that. If you allow one to be worn, I kind of feel like you got to allow the other side. And again, it's not hatred. It's not threatening. Hold on, Jason. Jason says, shirt was inappropriate. Jason, I'd love it if you would tell me how. I would love it if you would see how I don't agree with you, but I still would love it if you would express that opinion that I don't agree with. And I don't think it's inappropriate for you to express it. So please, you could, if you text in a book, he says, because it's political. When I say political views, I think that's more scientific. Even though I understand the climate that the conversation is going on in. But I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. Let's see. We got a call coming in. Let's grab the phones. Quinn?
Hey, what's going on, you man?
How you doing, sir?
What's going on, afternoon listeners? Okay, so do you remember the case where it was the Church of Satan wanted to erect a Baphomet statue at school because the school also had a Ten Commandments?
I think I vaguely remember that, yes.
Okay, so what basically ended up happening was the school district was like, well, okay, since we don't want that there, we won't have the commandments there, because if you have one, you got to have the other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. Like, if his views go against what they're saying, but they get to say what they're saying, it's like, why can't he say what he said?
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
agree.
I mean, I don't get the hypocrisy, because he believes in what really is, and they want to put out a little, I guess, they little fantasy roles of who is like putting all these different genders, like multiple, like where does it stop at? You know what I'm saying? So,
and Quinn, look, I kind of agree. Well, not kind of. I agree. There's two genders. There are two genders. I acknowledge, though, that there are people who say that they feel like, they're not whatever gender they are. And I believe them, Quinn. I I have no reason to not believe. I don't think they're trying to pull a fast one over on us. I think that they actually feel the way that they say that they feel.
Right. I understand that. I mean, I get that too, because I mean, I get that. I really do. Like, but feelings don't trump actuality. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people tell you don't make big decisions based on when you're either super excited or super sad, or, you know what I'm saying? You got to be at an even keel. So, and feelings change all the time. Like at 10, you may feel like, oh, I don't know if I like girls, or I think I feel like a girl or whatever. But then you didn't with this drastic step to change your gender, and then later on down the road, your feelings have changed. Now you stuck with titties and no tallywhacker. Now you all jacked up over feelings.
Yes.
So I don't know. I don't think we should be pushing this whole thing on kids, but I mean, at this point, man, take care of your household. You know what I'm saying? So quit letting these people run your kids.
All right. All right, Quinn. Anything else?
Nah, that's it.
Hey, I appreciate
Oh,
you.
yeah, those songs do sound similar, so.
Yes. Yes, they do.
But, there are only so many chords.
Yes, that's true as well. Yes.
But, all right.
All right, Quinn. I appreciate
Later.
Appreciate your call. That was Quinn. I agree with Quinn. And somebody posted, I don't know, where is it? Anthony wants to know, I'm shocked that it would be Anthony who would ask this question. I'm shocked. Not really. It's, so should he be able to wear a shirt that said ninja, ninja, ninja? Sure. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to guess you were substituting that for the N-word. See, it's different. I would have had an issue if he would have worn a shirt with a gay slur on it. I would have an issue with that. Like that's insulting intentionally as an actual slur. I would have an issue with that. But saying that there are only two genders is nowhere near the same as I don't know why y'all always like to try to conflate those. It's nowhere near the same. It's not the same principle even as the N-word. Not even, it's nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. So I understand what you're trying to say. And in essence, what you're trying to say is saying that there are only two genders is a slur against transgenders. But that's not true. It's just not true. Jerica says titties. How old is he? 15? Ain't nothing wrong with saying titties. Nothing wrong with saying titties. It's kind of spicy language that I don't particularly care to use. But there's nothing wrong with it. Lady K wants to know, do people go around broadcasting they straight? Then why should gay people? Just asking for myself. I understand why they do. Because they're marginalized. It's true. Now, you can argue whether they should be or shouldn't be, but gays, transgenders, and all of that kind of stuff, they are marginalized. They are outside of the accepted norm of a great deal of society. And because of that, that's when you get to a point where I have to stand up and be proud of who I am. So I understand that they do it and why they do it. I get it. Steven says most don't remove their penis. If they were really serious, they would go all the way, not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I don't know. I'm pretty sure sometimes there's a financial component to that. And maybe, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'll probably be ending this shortly because this is annoying to me, this coughing. So I'm sure it's annoying to y'all. But maybe, for financial component to it, I'm certain. Which is why sometimes it doesn't get done. I could imagine, I've never asked a transgender person, who, I don't know that I've met a transgender person who still has their original equipment, why they still have their original equipment. But I could imagine, I'm just imagining now. I'm saying that if you're transgender and I'm mischaracterizing, please feel free to call in and correct me. But I could imagine the idea ain't that I hate my body the way it is. I just don't feel like the gender that I am for some of them. Now, of course, my argument to that is, what does a gender feel like? It's impossible for me to know what it feels like to be a woman because I'm not a woman. And no matter how much I talk to a woman about what it feels like to be a woman, she can only tell me what she feels. She can't tell me what it feels like to be a woman. Because what she feels may not be what the next woman feels. But that's all, whatever. But I can imagine there are a number of different reasons why some people keep their original equipment. Come on, scroll. Stop acting up. If a man says he is heterosexual, that's frowned upon these days. No, it's not. No, it's not. Should I have said colorful, maybe? Whatever. Just go ahead. Tell me shut my fat ass up again. I know that's what you want to do. Yes, original equipment. You know what I meant. Let's see. What is non-binary? Look, I ain't no expert on this stuff. I just know that the boy should have been allowed to wear the shirt. The school shouldn't have messed with him. He shouldn't have got called to the office. And I'm glad that his parent, even if, because I do believe when stuff happens like this, you got people like me who will create a situation for their purpose. So I could see where maybe the dad or the mom, the parents said, yeah, get that shirt. And hey, Liam, wear that shirt to school today as a suggestion, not an order. And Liam's like, okay, he believes it. It'll be fun. See if they say something. And then they say something, and then you like, oh, how dare you say something? It's kind of the same idea of First Amendment auditing. Kind of the same idea. Wear something a little edgy that you should be allowed to wear, but that some people might not want you to wear. And you test the system. I don't have a problem with that. Even if the whole thing was a setup, I don't have a problem with it. Because you should be able to express your rights even when it's uncomfortable to other people, because they're your rights. Again, if he's threatening somebody, that's an issue. If he's, just being hateful, that's an issue. But just stating something that most people accept as factual, I don't see where anyone should get in trouble for that. You can tell a woman how it feels to be a man using the DJ Key finger test. Maybe that is the case. Let's see. Salutations. Jerica says, I watched an interview with a trans female and she said she enjoyed her penis because she likes, oh my God. Here's all I'll say about that. That is a pleasant experience. It's a pleasant experience. If done correctly. So, hey. Somebody, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little off subject. First, Jerica, you nasty. Why would you even bring that up? Why would you bring that up with your little nasty self? And secondly, Lincoln was asked today, if you don't watch the Lincoln Ware show, Lincoln was asked today if a man has sex with a transgender female, a female who was born a male, is that homosexuality? And I think Lincoln said no. And I think I disagree with Lincoln. He said if she don't have her, original part. So if she's had a vagina constructed and maybe some, breasticles put on or whatever, then in his mind, it's not homosexual. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Because you're having sex with a dude who's surgically changed. But if you ask me, and I know this is insulting to trans females everywhere, but I'm just saying my opinion. If you ask me, that's still a dude who's been surgically altered. It is. So, yeah, it is. It's homosexual. It's homosexual. Maybe if you don't know, then you're not homosexual. But if you find out or if you know and you do it, yes, that's homosexual. Yes. That reminds me of some of these people, some of these down low dudes who swear they not homosexual because they pitching and not catching. I'm like, no, you having sex with a dude. I've had this conversation with homosexual dudes who swear they not homosexual because the dudes that they having sex with, they do the penetrating. You having sex with a dude, you gay as F. But they don't see it that way. Well, the number is scrolling across the bottom of the screen for those of you who don't know. 513-717-KING. 513-717-5464. Let me see. Let's go. And I have not blocked anyone from calling in. E-Man, my point is they associate one statement with the other. Just like if you say you don't like Democrats, then you're accused to be MAGA. Okay. First, that was a terrible... But I will say, you're kind of right. You're kind of right. Because I did once post, and y'all not going to believe this, but I saw a meme. I guess it was a meme. And it was a man and a woman, like the little thing you see on the bathroom, the little white kind of caricature. They're not stick figures, but you know what I mean. Hopefully you know what I mean. So it was a man standing next to the woman, but they had them holding hands. And it said, straight pride. I thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was funny. Because you see the gay pride stuff. So I was like, all right. And I copied it and I posted it on my Facebook page. This had to be 15 years ago. Posted it on my Facebook page. And you wouldn't believe the hatred that I got. I got like legit hatred. I'm like, first, it was funny to me because they used the little bathroom signals. And I don't know why. That entertained me. It made me giggle. And so I posted it. But secondly, I'm straight. Would I say I'm proud of being straight? No, just because that's normal for me. That's normal. I'm a part of what I believe to be the majority class when it comes to that. So there's no need to like announce it. But it's normal. But you're right, Ben. I had serious hatred coming my way. And all I could do was ask questions like, am I supposed to be ashamed of being straight? You're such a hateful guy. Like, why am I hateful? Because I'm straight. That don't make me hateful. Nothing in that post said homosexuality is evil and y'all should die. I want to get them, let's kill them. Nothing. So, to that degree, yes. Jason says at 17, he wasn't ready to test the system. Dad living through his son. He's not 17, he's in the 7th grade. But you can be in the 7th grade and be ready to test the system. Be ready to express your freedoms and expect them to be respected. I don't understand you who have a problem with his freedoms. In your mind, Jason, who did he hurt? Who did he hurt? Why are you so against his freedoms? That's what I would love to understand that. Let me see. This is a lot. When the gay revolution started back in the 60s in New York City, at the time, they just wanted to be left alone to live their lifestyle. Now they want you to accept it in your face. If trans people wanted to compete in sports, they could. That's a lot more there. Compete in their own category, but that's not good enough. They want to compete against biological women. Look, all I'm saying, I'm not getting all that into it. That boy should have had a right to wear his shirt. I'm not here to massage and cultivate hatred for trans or gay people. It's not what I'm trying to do. I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but it ain't my life, and I'm not here to tell them how to live their life. So y'all trying to catch me up, and I'm not against gay people. I'm not against trans people. It's not for me. I wouldn't try it. I don't think it's right or natural, but so what? That's just one man's opinion. They can live their life. Robert says, I have a t-shirt that says Jesus was an unarmed black man. Is that inappropriate? I feel that as long as it's not offensive, it's okay. I don't have to agree with what you believe as long as it's not offensive. But then other things, I gotta undo this to finish reading it, is what's offensive to others. Sort of a catch-22. All right. It is a pleasant experience when it's done right. I've had it done wrong, and I'm still scarred. I am still emotionally and mentally scarred from it. So, yes. Let me see. Scroll. Scott said, I thought you were talking about a shirt. So did I. But I guess for whatever reason, the shirt conjures up a different conversation. Tell me you didn't have that conversation in the locker room. No, it wasn't in the locker room. Let me see. Oh man, y'all been. I would not. I don't know what Lincoln has done, but if Lincoln has had that experience, then that's Lincoln's life. Let Lincoln live his life. Let Lincoln live his life. Janice is here. Hi, Janice. They gave you straight hate. Yes, they did. Let me see. Lady K says, I'm straight, and I respect that. Jason says, I just don't believe he came up with the idea to wear the shirt. But you don't believe it based on what? I'm not saying you, but I don't believe that. Based on what? Based on nothing? You just want to not believe it. Let me see, I'm scrolling. Nat says, at 12 years old, he's not even old enough to form an intelligent opinion. That was his parents. I'm telling you, at 12 years old, when I was in the 7th grade, I was old enough to know that I thought homosexuality was wrong. I thought it was nasty. I was old enough to form that opinion all on my own. But my parents, I don't ever recall mama or daddy telling me homosexuality is bad or wrong. I don't ever remember having, they might have had a conversation with me at some point in my life, but I don't remember it. And by the 7th grade, I knew I liked girls. I was doing my very best to get some coochie. I was not successful, but I was trying. And I thought gay was wrong. I refused to stand up for the Star Spangled Banner or whatever. I refused to do the Pledge of Allegiance in school. That was when they was making us stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. My parents never told me, don't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I just knew in the 7th grade. I remember I used to have to go stand outside during the Pledge of Allegiance because I would say, I'm not standing for that. And I can't remember her name. She was my math teacher. And she would always, when it was time for us they would do it over the PA. She would always say, well, you go outside. All right, cool. I don't care. My parents never told me to do any of that kind of stuff. Why do y'all think in the 7th grade he's not old enough to have an opinion? He may not be old enough to have, a exceptionally well-informed opinion at that point. But I had thoughts and beliefs by the time I was in the 7th grade. And I stood up for them in the 7th grade. I got in trouble for them in the 7th grade. Were y'all late bloomers? Did y'all not have thoughts and opinions in the 7th grade? I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through the comments now because I'm trying to see if any of these people who are saying he could not have, in the 7th grade, he could not have an opinion by the 7th grade. Did you have thoughts and opinions by the time you was in the 7th grade? What age do you think an opinion concerning an issue like this can start? I think it can start at a very early age, especially the way that we in this society here in America, the way we push acceptance of homosexuality and trans, whatever that's called. Transgenderality. I don't. The fact that we're pushing this acceptance super early on. Like, I don't know. Do the one show where the little kid, the little meme. What is the show? He's like a little bear, and there's a meme with his fist balled up. What is the name of that show? It's a little kid's show, PBS, little bear, and his little fist is balled up, but I can't think of the name of the show. But I'm pretty sure if that show is still on by now, Arthur. If Arthur is still on and they still making new episodes, I can almost, no, I can't. I can't almost guarantee nothing because an almost guarantee is nothing. But I believe there's probably a gay or transgender character introduced already. So we starting these kids when we should be teaching them A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We teaching them that and a little bit of acceptance of homosexuality and transgenderality and all of that stuff. Nicole says Arthur is off. Kingdom says 7th grade, I was thinking about sports and maybe the prettiest girl in class. So you was, kind of behind. Because I'm telling you, in the 7th grade, I was refusing to stand for the for the national, not the national, for the Pledge of Allegiance. They used to make them put their hand on their heart. So how old do they have to be to begin to form an opinion about it? As soon as you start introducing it to them. I know some of y'all don't think that young people, because some of y'all don't like young people. I know some of y'all don't think that young people think, but young people think. They little 5-year-old brains analyze stuff. Y'all know I deal with a 5-year-old on a regular basis now. She got opinions about stuff. She know right now, based on the very limited knowledge that she has, what she believes is right and what she believes is wrong. She knows. And she will argue. No, grandfather, that's not right. I'll be like, shut up, it's right. She'll be like, I'm not going to shut up. That's not right. Oh, the teacher is gay. I didn't know. I never really watched the show. Oh, somebody else is telling me the teacher is gay in Arthur. And that's a show for little kids. Somebody said his sister is binary. I'm not sure what that means. But the bottom line is that's when they start forming their opinions about this stuff. When you start introducing it to them and they start thinking about it. They form their opinions. A male teacher got married to a man in the last episode. That's terrible. That is terrible. You were a little militant, and that something was taught to you early. No, it wasn't. But first, I wasn't militant. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that. If by militant you mean I had my thoughts, I had my opinions, I paid attention to some stuff, and then I decided what I would or would not do or what I did or did not believe, then sure, I was militant. I call that just a kid thinking. That's it. And I guess I was taught early on to think. My parents always encouraged us to think. I don't remember if it was mama or daddy, asking me why I did something. Probably something I didn't have no business doing. And they said, why did you do that? And I said, what a lot of kids say, I don't know. And I remember listening to a long conversation about why I don't know is never an acceptable answer for why you did or did not do something. And I was told, don't do anything without knowing why you're doing it. Nothing. In my mind, it had to be daddy. If I ask you why you're breathing, you should know why. No, I don't know why I'm breathing. And I remember somebody explaining to me why you breathe and telling me there is a reason for everything that you do. You make a decision to do things, and you should know why you made that decision. It was a long conversation, but it impressed upon me, before you make a decision, think about why you're making that decision. So yes, I was taught that early. Think. LaDonna says, when I was in the 7th grade, gay stuff was not on my mind, but gay stuff was not all up in your face either. And I don't mean that in the literal face. I mean, Arthur's teacher wasn't married to a man, and you had to watch it. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember how old you are, LaDonna, but I remember thinking Bugs Bunny was gay. I always thought Bugs Bunny was gay. And I always thought the little Babs Bunny, I didn't know the terminology at the time, but I thought Bugs Bunny is gay. He don't really like that girl bunny. He just do that so he don't seem like he gay. She was his beard. But we didn't have any the one little pink thing, not Pink Panther, but the little pink one. I always thought he was gay. I think he was just more of a theatrical person, but I always thought he was gay. But no, you didn't have all this gayness all in everything that you do. I don't think it was other than Bert and Ernie, I don't think there were any gay characters on Sesame Street, or at least they were out pronouncing I'm gay when we was growing up. No two men on Thundercats was getting it on that we knew about. So it's different for these kids because apparently they're watching Arthur and his teacher, that's a man, is marrying another man. So yeah, it's all up in their face now. So in the 7th grade, the decision could be made that no, there's only 2 genders. Forget all this transgender stuff. There's only 2 genders. It's boys and girls, males and females. Yeah. All right, hold on. Let's grab the phone here. Fame.
Hey, guy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm absolutely pleasant.
Oh,
I just want to remind you, I mean, I don't know how old you think you aren't, but you watched gay characters your whole life.
Did I?
And they were openly gay. You just had to, they just wasn't just saying, like, yeah, I'm gay. They just let you know, like, something different here. If you're smart, this cartoon, this show ain't for, ain't for dummies exactly. You got to be a little bright to watch this. Batman and Robin, for instance. Batman was a clear pedo, gay pedo guy. What was the name of that show? Too Close for Comfort. Monroe Ficus, big gay guy.
But by the time that came on, I'm talking about little kid.
Well, Batman and Robin.
But no, a little kid is not gonna see. Now, if Batman and Robin had gotten married, see, that's what I'm saying. That's that's the extent to which these little kids had to deal with it. Now they say Arthur, his male teacher, married a man on the show. So that and you got like little 3, 4, 5-year-old kids watching Arthur. So they're watching openly gay relationships. And the idea, and I'm not even saying it to say that it's horribly bad, even though I don't think it's good. But I'm saying it to say we're wondering, how could a 7th grader have formed the opinion about genders in the 7th grade when at probably 3 years old, he was watching 2 men get married.
Openly gay characters, if you didn't watch openly gay characters, then you watched openly sexually promiscuous characters.
No.
What's her name? On 227.
Again,
Winona on Good Times was somewhat sexually promiscuous. Always on a date with some damn body.
Just because you on a date don't mean you sexually promiscuous. They never show. Here's the
in a 30 minute. How much do they got to tell you?
Fame. See, here's the difference between what you're saying and what I'm saying. The suggestion was there that Winona was sexually promiscuous. But if that show happened in 2023, we would get a love scene every week of somebody knocking the bottom out of Winona. You know what I'm saying? Somebody straight beating it up. Whereas back then it was just suggested that she might have.
They did it with Sandra.
Sandra?
On 27.
No, we never saw nobody beat it up.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I don't know what's happening to your phone.
You just had, huh?
Something's happening to your phone.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a storm out here.
Oh.
Out here in Grove's Busy. You know what I'm saying? You've seen unsavory characters all throughout television, be they gay, sexually promiscuous, whatever. So kids ain't seeing nothing new. They just see, that's all. That's all I got, B, since the phone breaking up. You do well.
All right. That's Fame. And again, my conversation is not whether gay is right, whether gay is wrong. The idea that a few people are floating that a 7th grader in 2023 can't have formed an opinion about whether or not he believes there are only 2 genders. It says to me that some of y'all are really out of touch with it, and maybe y'all are just like really slow bloomers in terms of mental capacity. But in the 7th grade, I think everybody that I knew had opinions about the stuff that was going on in the world. Everybody that I knew that I kind of hung around with, we all knew. So yes, we had opinions. And again, we're not talking about, we're talking about, what's the target age for Arthur? Somewhere between 3, 6? I think by the time you're 7, you kind of not watching Arthur no more. And they're introducing gay marriage. Blade.
What's going on, man?
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. I think this culture don't quite understand where you coming from because this culture is a little slow. It was on TV, but it wasn't blatant like it is now. They are teaching your children this stuff in school now. That's why that boy had to come with that T-shirt. So, and then people, I think that young white boy in the 7th grade is manly than half of your audience. I don't think half of your audience would stand up and do that because they've been brainwashed to accept what's going on.
Okay.
And binary means you're not either or. You're just that. And people believe in that. People think there's people walking on Earth that don't have no sex, female or male. So what's really going on?
All right.
So, I don't think this culture would really stand up like that young white boy. It's sad to say, I would hang out with that young white boy than half of your audience on the show because they're not manly enough or woman enough to stand up for right or wrong. I don't even think you can go in school and say there's two sex because there's so many now. You can be anything now. You can be a fairy in the school and get more respect than us. And then you said something.
Wait, hold on. Did you
said something.
Did you say a fairy?
Yeah, there's fairies. You remember True Blood?
No.
You don't remember True Blood on HBO?
No.
The fairies and the wolves and stuff. Hey, but you said something that kind of go against you. If you were true alpha male, people got a problem with that. You said they don't, but they do.
I don't know if that's the case.
I do because when you look at the rappers and the actors and stuff, they always testing their manhood. Even if you don't want to believe it, but put this dress on, homie. When you look at it, and your boy, when he bowed down to it, now we don't even talk about him no more. They got rid of him.
Who?
I forgot his name. He came and went so fast. Was on that last boxing movie. We don't even know who he is.
I don't know who.
The last boxing movie. What's that? The white boy had it, then the black dude took over.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I take your word for it.
Okay, I forgot who it is because they asked him what he think about the series now, and he said he don't like the way it went because it's very dark.
Okay. The people are saying you're talking about Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, we forgot about him now. He put the dress on.
So you're talking about the movie Creed. That's what you call the last boxing movie. Okay.
Yeah. He put the dress on.
and he got played by the plain white girl.
When
So,
he put hold on, when did he put a dress on?
it's on one of them. The people will bring it up. It's on one of them commercials or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So they that culture get played quick and fast because he's black. You better say he's blackballed. He'll probably never make a movie again. So like I said, this culture got a lot of knowledge, but they have no wisdom. Peace out, bro.
All right. That was Blade giving us wisdom. So, okay. Hold on. I saw Robinson says, quit calling folks slow. We were kids being kids. Even kids being kids in the 7th grade, you're telling me as a kid in the 7th grade, you had no opinions about anything. That's slow. 7th grade, you're supposed to be thinking about stuff. You know what I'm saying? You taking history classes like you wasn't thinking about none of that stuff. How do you hear about American history? Which you should have had some by the 7th grade and not think. Yeah, I'm just a kid being a kid. That's not normal. By the 7th grade, you should have learned something about Martin Luther King. And you should at least be thinking, yeah, equality is a good thing. Like, I'm in 7th grade. I don't know what equality is. I just want to play baseball. You slow. If in the 7th grade you have not developed an opinion about anything, you're slow. That's not even an insult. For real. That's just like his shirt. It's just a statement of fact. But hold on. Speaking of slow, this is a huge detour. But I think I'm going to have to whoop somebody's ass. Not any specific person, but I think I just need to whoop an ass. Like in public so everybody can see it. Maybe not even whoop ass. Maybe just get into an altercation so that people know I ain't scared of them. What this got to do with being slow? Let me explain. So I'm doing some work. And I want to give as few details as possible because I don't really want to offend. There's a person who's slow. And then, you can't use the R word no more. But clearly, there's some developmental issues, right? And I'm minding my business, doing some work, and the person is like, okay, I'm cutting my grass. And the person is like, you over there cutting your grass. If something fly out of that lawnmower and hit me, then we gonna have a problem. I'm cutting my grass. And I'm like, hold on. And I kind of, because I have my buds in when I'm cutting the grass, but I have it on the transparent mode. So I could kind of hear what was said. But I was like, did this R word, N word, just say what I think he said to me? Hold on. Excuse me, what did you say? He repeats it. If anything fly out of that lawnmower and hit me, we gonna have a problem. And I'm thinking, what the world is going on? Now look, I know I get threatened by a person or two online. Want me to come to their house so they can murder me. All of that kind of stuff. Or want to catch me at a stoplight to murder me. Okay. I kind of passed that stuff off as, people just trying to be extra manly for a crowd. And then other people start, people start telling me, shut your fat ass up. Okay, they don't use those words, but that's still what they mean. I'm like, people are just like being really disrespectful for no reason. But but when R word, N word, look at you and basically threaten to whoop your ass for mowing your grass, I got to stand up and do something. This, not him. That would be terrible for me to be out there in the streets fighting the R word, N word. But just the idea that he thought it was okay. I got to do something. I can't have R word, N words thinking, oh yeah, we can just threaten that N word. I can't have that. I can't have it. So I don't know who. I don't know where. But I got to deal with somebody at some point. A R word, N word basically said, I'm going to whoop your ass. To me. For nothing. Oh. And I thought you can't just let it just keep going on. Somewhere you got to draw a line. I'm the most nonviolent person you'll ever meet in your life. Okay, maybe not the most nonviolent person you'll ever meet in your life. Because I've had fights. I've won some. I've lost a couple. Not ashamed of any of them. I don't think I've ever started a fight. But I don't think I've ever run from one either. Well, that's not true. I did run from one. But that's a whole different story. I still laugh every time I think about that one. But I don't know. Something got to give. Right, Terrence. I'm always getting threatened. And why do people think that's okay? I don't think he watched the show. I'm pretty sure he don't watch the show. And I would not fight and I didn't say that's my neighbor. I mean, I guess technically he lives in the neighborhood. So that would make him my neighbor. But who says that to somebody? But if I was going to fight somebody, he would be the one that I wouldn't fight. How would that look? You lose either way you go. CK.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Livingston?
How you doing, CK?
Hey, as a proud member of the R-word community, I had to call in. You hear me?
I hear you, CK.
I mean, I thought of Dr. King soon as you told your story. You know what I mean? That brought up Dr. King. You just mowing your grass and get this dude threatening whooping your ass. I was like, what in the hell?
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I mean, like you said, because I thought when you said the story, I was like, this is how Dr. King felt. Like, I'm preaching peace and they want to kill me. They want to kill you. You couldn't. Was you laughing? Was you laughing while you were cutting the grass the rest of the time? Was it kind of funny too?
I did laugh. Here's what made it even funnier. This is what made it even funnier, just to me. Mrs. Livingston had stepped out right before this happened. And so she's on the porch and she heard it. And so she's looking at me like trying to not laugh the first time
Right.
because I didn't hear it. So that's what when I pulled out the buzz and I'm like, what did you say? And he repeated it. She couldn't contain herself. And so then she starts picking with me about it. Just kind of, oh, he go whoop your ass, kind of, you know what I'm saying? And she was too entertained by it because she knew, no matter what happened, I'm not gonna fight R word, N word. It's just not gonna happen. Nothing. So she is coming up with scenarios where the thing escalates, and I have to not get my A whooped by R word, N word. And to her, it's the funniest thing in the world. And so I didn't want to laugh, but I kind of had to laugh because she was
Man, it was
cracking up.
funny, man. I can't believe it, man. I mean, I was traumatized because, about 12 years ago, my stepfather, he retired and everything, but he fixed lawnmowers, right, down in Atlanta.
Okay.
So he fixing the lawnmower one time, and the blade, just like you said, something fly out that lawnmower, we're going to have a problem. The blade flew off and hit him in his leg, and he almost lost his leg.
Oh. That's
At 70-plus years old, so this is bad. To this day. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It wasn't me that said that, because I thought about that incident when you were talking about something flying out the lawnmower, because it's traumatic in my life. But, I mean, for you to be threatened like that, it's like, it's God testing your will, I believe.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think it is?
I have no
do you
idea.
think it's like a deeper?
I have no idea. And I don't have one of them lawnmowers, where some of them got the side discharge. Well, I guess technically mine does, but I don't use it that way. I either use it as, a bag or a mulch. So it's not like I'm using it and stuff is shooting out all over the place. And then for you to just come walking by and to decide if something come out of that lawnmower and hit me. Yeah, I'm like, what? Oh my goodness. I don't know where it came from. But yeah.
And see, you just oh my God. Did you see the movie Baby Boy?
I did.
Man, you would have been just like Stepdaddy when he was beating up the stepson. So, see, it's people like you. You want me to go back to jail. you want something to happen to you. It's like, I ain't doing nothing. I'm out here minding my business, right? Mowing my lawn, which the neighborhood should appreciate me keeping a nice yard, and I'm getting threatened by the neighbors. I don't bother these people.
But every time I see him, he's the most, because he walks around, and everybody, kind of know. And, every time I see him, he's the nicest, hi. And I'm like, hi, how you doing? Because I ain't got nothing against him, but just, I don't know. He was having a bad day that day, I guess, and he was going to take it out on me. I said, I got to do something. My reputation has to precede me. I have to not be the dude that it's okay to invite over to your house for dinner and a murder. I have to be the dude that, hey, you don't mess with that dude. I have to figure out how to become that dude.
It's hard, man. It's like you attracting violence by doing nothing. You can see if you was putting out a bravado that that got that type of stuff. But it's like, man, I don't know, man. I'm trying to see how we can fix this, but see how we lose lives in the community is he having a bad day, then he runs into another person having an equally or worse bad day. Then death is called. That's how it go down. And then you be like, who the F you? What you say? And then whoa, boom, there it go. How many times have we seen it? Over the littlest nothing.
I would never do that.
You seen it, man. Hey, you just seen the murder. They told him to stop shooting in the front yard, and he shot all 5 neighbors because they were shooting in the yard.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up as well. look, y'all, we are in a position in society where you can't do nothing. You can't like be like CK. My whole position has been for years. If a neighbor or something going on, the last thing you want to do is call the police. And I can't see myself calling the police on one of my neighbors because, you know what I'm saying, we get into an argument or because, they doing something. My neighbor could go out there at 4 o'clock in the morning and start cutting his grass. I would not call the police on him. I wouldn't, because the last thing I want to happen is the police show up and kill my neighbor because he was cutting his grass at 4 o'clock in the morning and I called him. So I'm like, don't call the police. Last resort. But now I'm kind of rethinking that. Like if I can't.
For protection.
Yeah, if I can't walk out and say, hey, bro, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. What's going on? I'm trying to sleep. Without worrying about getting killed, shot. I guess my options are ignore it or call the police. Or what? Take my gun out there with me. So if I say, hey, bruh, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, you cutting the grass. What you doing? And he get fly, then what? Just shoot him, you know what I'm saying? Just, I got you before you got me. I don't want to do that. That's terrible. We live in a messed up society, y'all.
And it's good you reporting this to us because now we know we got documented evidence of what's happening. So, you know what I mean? If this continues to happen, then it's like harassment, and because
no. That was just example,
isolated.
But I'm just saying, in the society that we live in, you kind of gotta. I don't know what to do.
Yep. People so crazy. You can't even go to the store. People begging you for money, and like you said, just begging somebody for money. If I'm broke, I'm already in a bad mood. What you begging me for money for, brother? I'm going to the store broke. I'm the last one you need to be asking for money. So any little thing. But I think you de-escalated the situation well by ignoring it and not giving it no feedback. But like you said, he might not be so lucky. He might say that to the wrong person. Say you had an argument with your wife and you're going, get your lazy ass out there and cut the grass. And then he hit you with that. You know what I mean? You in a bad mood. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? See, so, man, you doing the right thing, man. But it was a very, very funny story, man. I was laughing, so I just called you, man. That was wild. That was wild. Just the little shit. It's like Curb Your Enthusiasm. That was an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, brother.
CK, I appreciate your call, sir.
Hey, great one, man. Have a great one, sir.
All right. That's CK. Y'all, that's a true story. I didn't make it up. My wife still think that's funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. I'm in a no-win situation. Let me see, y'all. I gotta get ready to get out of here. But yeah, nah, man, we live in a crazy society now where you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. You can't. It's not because I saw R-Dub say, something about what did he say? Only a fool would go out and confront their neighbor while they're shooting a gun in the front yard. I don't know about that. Depending on the relationship you have with the neighbor, even though they say they didn't really know each other, he helped him cut a tree down once. But, these are like large plots of land. They say all of the houses there sit on at least an acre of land. Which means you ain't right next to the house. But, so I wouldn't think it weird. And, if you out, say, target shooting, because believe it or not, there are people who do that. I think everybody who got a gun just got the gun so that they can commit a mass shooting. Some people got a gun because they like guns, and they'll go out, especially if I got an acre of land, which, granted, an acre ain't 20 acres. If I got an acre of land, I might think I'm far enough away. I'm out here in the country. Let me go set up some targets, do some little target shooting. That don't sound like an angry dude, especially if I ain't never had no beef with you. And I might be like, hey, you know, my baby's sick. Because that's my understanding of the story. Like, hey, my baby's sick, trying to get some sleep. Can you just move a little further over that way so that, you know, the baby can get some sleep? That don't sound like an unreasonable request. It don't sound, I mean, by definition, it's confrontational because you're confronting someone. But it doesn't sound confrontational in the negative connotation of the word. Like, I didn't get the feeling that he went over and said, if you don't stop shooting, I'm going to bring my gun out here. And you know what I'm saying? It was just like, hey, you know, I got a 1-month-old that's sick and crying. We're trying to get him sleep. But it's a little difficult because, you know, you out here shooting. Can you go over there a little bit, give us a little distance so we can get the baby to sleep? That don't sound unreasonable to me. It does. It does not sound unreasonable. But apparently to him, it was unreasonable. Donald Trump opened up Pandora's box. He made hate and violence the norm. If your neighbor is cutting his grass at 4 a.m, leave the R word, N word alone. He's never cut the grass 4 o'clock anymore. I was just saying that as an example. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be getting out of here in just a minute. I'm trying to scroll through these comments. I got to get a new mouse. Well, I actually have a mouse. I just need to go get some AAA batteries for it. Jack says, an acre isn't large enough to be target practicing with an AR-15. Well, maybe he had an acre, but you don't know how much open land is behind their house, maybe, for example. I don't know. See, I think if you had the courage to confront someone with a gun, I don't believe they were modest in their approach. Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't they be modest in their approach? Well, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, you're out shooting. To say, hey, can you, because they didn't ask you to stop shooting, according to the story that I read, they just asked him to move further over on his property. And that would have been fine with them. But I guess according to the story that I read, let me go back and just double check this. He and 2 other people went to the neighbor's house to respectfully ask that he shoot further away from the home. He told us he was on his property and he could do what he wanted. And so they left. Then he called the police after he told him he could do what he wanted. They called the police like 5 times. The police told them they was coming. Then about 20 minutes later, they saw the man loading his gun and come running towards the house. And I'm trying to read it and make sure I'm not missing something. Yeah, and they saw him running towards the house. He said, I told my wife, get inside. This man has a loaded weapon. Said, my wife told me to go inside because he won't fire at me. I'm a woman. Ooh, women. Y'all better stop believing that stuff. The woman card is not as strong as it used to be. The woman card is not as strong as it used to be. You get in the house, he won't shoot me. I'm a woman. She the first person who got shot. The woman card is not as strong as it used to be. It's just not. The gunman walked up to the home and began firing. Since his wife, who's 25, Sonia Guzman, was at the door, she was the first to die. I'm not saying that, I'm reading the story. That's the way the story put it. The gunman walked up to the home and began firing. Garcia's wife, Sonia Argentina Guzman, 25, was at the door and the first to die. The house held 15 people in all, several of them friends who had been there to join Garcia's wife on a church retreat. The gunman seemed intent on killing everyone. He killed the son. He killed 2 other women who was there shielding the 2-year-old daughter and a baby. So one of the women told him, jump out the window. They say, your children are already without a mother, and one of their parents has to stay alive to take care of them. People are, and I agree with what Janice said. I agree with what Janice said. Donald Trump, yes, Donald Trump has stirred up so much hatred. Not just Donald Trump, but Donald Trump and all of those people who kind of agree and feel that way and creating all of this animosity. They have created a situation where now everybody is mad as hell and they not gonna take it anymore. And what does that mean? They done told you for how many years they coming and take your guns. So they done made everybody just buy up guns. Nobody was ever coming to take their guns. But if you tell people they coming to take your guns, people gonna be like, you not getting my guns, and go buy more. They know that when they say it. They know that. When they start talking about, oh, they want me to be politically correct, I'm not gonna be politically correct. They know. They know that they're telling people it's okay. Hate speech is fine. Aggressive actions are fine. Then they start passing all of these stand your ground laws, which I actually agree with the stand your ground law in principle. My problem is the way that they present it and kind of the way that they enforce it. So then you start telling people, hey, you ain't got to back down from nobody. You got your gun. We ain't being politically correct. And you can shoot them if you feel threatened. And then we wonder why people shooting people like crazy. Because we've had people, and I agree, Tria, she said it really started when Obama became president, because that's when they got furious. They were furious. And why are people shooting people for pulling in their driveway? Because they mad as hell and they got guns and they've been told they don't have to be politically correct, and they've been told the law is against them. They've been told they're not going to get justice. And they've been told they ain't got to back down from nobody. Be mad, be armed, and use that weapon when you get a chance. So, oh, you pulled in my driveway? I'm going to shoot you. There was another story. There was a guy who was out, using his leaf blower on his yard. And the neighbor, some 79-year-old hothead, the neighbor comes out, I guess not liking the noise, and shoot him in the head. It's the world we living in now. So I think I might be backtracking on the idea, don't call the police. Because my thing was, look, don't call the police. What you want to do? Yeah, 79. Hold on, let me pull up that story. Because I just threw it out there because I read it. Man. Hold on, let me do this. Let me see. Can I put this up on the screen for y'all? All right, man. Stop, man. Shoots. Neighbor. Leaf blower. Illinois man, 59, fatally shot by neighbor while using leaf blower in his own yard. Ettore Lache, I don't know, I butchered that for sure. 79 was arrested Tuesday and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Yeah, an Illinois man using his leaf blower in his own yard was fatally shot by his 79-year-old neighbor during an argument. William was using a leaf blower in his own yard at his Antioch home. This was on April 12th when he was approached by his next-door neighbor. The two argued. During the altercation, Lachey shot Martis in the head. He was given, they say an autopsy was performed. You know why? The cause of death was found to be a gunshot wound to the head. That one sounds like you don't necessarily have to wait for the autopsy report, right? Detectives also recovered the firearm likely used in the murder. They did a comprehensive 2-week investigation. Why? Why you got to do a 2-week investigation? You shot the dude in the head. They had to wait for the autopsy report. They had to wait for the autopsy report. What? He got shot in the head. Wonder what killed him. Maybe he had a heart attack. I know this is crazy. There's no evidence of this. This is just my thinking. Were they looking for a reason to let this guy off? They got a picture of him. Not in this story. Hold on. See if I can find the picture of him. And he looks, the picture of him that I saw, his mugshot. Hold on, let me just search his name. Let me search his name. I'm trying to find a picture of him. Hold on a second. Jason. Jason?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Hold on. I'm on a car phone. Hold on.
A car phone?
My bad. I should have got ready before I.
Did you?
Okay. Hello?
Hold on, did you say you're on a car phone?
No, my car is connected to the phone, is what I meant to say.
Oh, okay.
I know you're with the Bluetooth connected.
Yeah, I was worried for you.
Speakerphone.
Okay.
Now, do they even make car phones anymore?
I don't think so. I'm like, how does Ian get a car phone?
Huh?
I was thinking, how does Ian get a car phone? Where they do that at?
Did you see my message that I typed? I know you did. You probably breezed past it.
What did you type? I missed it.
I said, before that R word beat you up, can I get them shirts? But that's not why I called. I completely disagree with the whole Trump started this whole violence thing. He just shined a better light. People can see it better, but like y'all can't possibly believe that Trump got in office and white people just stood up like, we don't have to take this no more.
Yeah, I kind of think that. Yeah. I think there
Did
was
you just move to America yesterday?
No, hold on. I think there was a segment of the population who were furious and who were like, hey, look, they don't like the direction that the country is going. Let's protest maybe. Let's, whatever. But I think, yes, when Trump took office and started really before, but mainly when he took office, they felt empowered that now we got one of ours is up there, and it's okay now for us to lash out violently. Yes, I'm not saying there was no violence in America before Trump, but I am saying that, yes, he said to a certain segment of society, in particular, the white male, angry white men, it's okay to be angry, and now is your time to stand up and do something. And I think they took that message.
All right, I agree with that. I thought y'all were trying to say that, like, all of a sudden Trump got in there saying something, and then white people were like, yeah, we don't have to take this. I just needed clarification.
Okay.
And for the little kid with the shirt, while I agree with the shirt, like, if that's, a lot of people take up the fight at school, and like he said, I disagree. If he wouldn't have said I didn't do it for attention, then I would have been like, all right, I'm with you. But once he said that, it's like, you know you lying. Just like them shirts you made for me. You think I just made them because, like, that's the stand I want to make? Like, no. I want people to look at it and then be mad at me, but not know me.
Well, I mean, he got to say he didn't do it for attention. He's not savvy enough, and apparently neither are his parents, savvy enough to say, so what? My right should be. So he kind of got to say that. I'm not saying he's some super savvy kid in terms of being able to put the message out there in its best light, but he could believe what was on that shirt.
I believe he believes it. I mean, if he paid attention in science class or biology, yeah, he believes it. But I think that's all. That shirt, I kind of like the shirt that he had. I mean, it was very factual, but I don't know I can't argue, like, was he right or wrong? Because I don't know his school's policy. A lot of schools, you're not wearing none of that. No Black Lives Matter, no gay pride, no straight pride, none of that.
Well, but
like, you're not wearing none of it.
Here's the only reason why I kind of lean towards that's probably not against their policy. When he stood up before the school board, and when he made his little speech and he said, basically, I have to look at all of the gay pride stuff around the school and all of that kind of stuff, that says to me there's probably gay pride stuff around the school, because nobody at the school board meeting afterwards said, hey, look, we don't allow any of that. So you're lying, young man, or that young man is not telling the truth because we don't allow gay pride stuff to be in our facilities. We're totally apolitical. Had they said that, then I'd be like, okay, maybe. But if you stand there and say, man, look, y'all got gay pride stuff all over the place, and they like, yep, sure do. I kind of got to believe they probably got gay pride stuff around the place.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then yeah, he should be allowed to wear the shirt. And his parents might have fueled his little stunt, but I guess, like you said, people want their little voice heard no matter where it is, because technically you mad, and they know better than to wear that shirt to work and start kicking up dust, because then they'll have plenty of time to have political opinions, because they'll be unemployed.
Yeah, I don't know. It all depends on the workplace, because if the workplace allows gay pride shirts, Then I can wear my "there are only two gender" shirts.
Well, being a black man, I'm not even gonna pick that fight up. I'm gonna wear my plain T-shirt and keep my job.
Well, okay.
That's just me. That's me. I don't like I'm not militant like some people and like to cause trouble. That's all I had.
All right, Jason. I appreciate your call.
Yep.
All right. That's Jason. That's Jason. I put the picture up. That was the picture. I just, when you just saw that picture pop up there. That's the 79-year-old who shot the man in the head for the leaf blower. He looks like the type of dude that would shoot somebody in the head for a leaf blower, if there is a type. He looked like that type of dude. And they say that the neighbors said he was always a hothead and getting into arguments with people and pulling out guns on people. That's what the neighbor said about him. But he looked like that type. If there's a such thing as, if that type can have a look. That's the way it looked. All right, y'all. I said I was only going to be here. I started early so I could leave early. But y'all kept me the whole time. And my voice is getting worse and worse as we go on. So is this cough. So I need to get off of here. Rest my throat. I want y'all to enjoy. The rest of your day. I know it's raining and all that good stuff, but you can enjoy the rain, or you could just stay inside and enjoy the inside. All right. I always enjoy the inside. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am the King of Talk. I hope something amazing happens to you, life-changing, by the end of this day. All right? Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.